Hey everybody, it's Christina from Creations with Christina, and today we're working on a project using our Cri-Kits Embosser, and I just wanted to show you first what it looked like. What I made, I used the metal that is available on the Cri-Kits website and the embosser in the Sure Cuts a Lot software to create these little bands going around these tubes. And in the tubes I just put some crafting supplies. I thought it'd make a great little gift for somebody that's new in crafting. You can also add candy or something else on the inside. So let me show you first how I put this together using the scale software. Okay, I have my Sure Cuts a Lot software open, and I already have it open to the original image or original file that I used to make my wrappers. But I'm just going to show you how I did this, and I'm using the Sure Cuts a Lot 2 program for my Mac. And here's how I started. What I did was I just selected, using the basic shapes over on the side here, I just selected this rectangle. And let me just move that down here. And I knew that I wanted my image to be 3 inches by 4.5 inches. So it's 4.5 inches wide, so I'm just coming over here to the right and doing 4.50 and then changing my height to 3 inches. Okay, so that's my box, and that'll be the first section that's going to get embossed when it's cutting on my Cri-Kit or embossing on my Cri-Kit. So the next thing I did was I created another rectangle right here. I mean, you can't really see it, but it's right in this section right here, and that is so just open up another rectangle, and that measures let's see, I think I made that 1 inches with a width of 4.5. Okay, let me just double check that up here. Nope, you know what? That was or actually it was 1/4 of an inch, so it was 0.75. Okay, that's better. And then what I did was I just moved that down here to my box and centered it right inside of my my larger rectangle. Okay, so the next thing I did was I started creating more rectangles, and I'm using the longer one for this one, and this measures 3 inches, well actually it measures 1 inch by 4.5 inches, or no, I'm sorry, 3 inches. Okay, and what I did was I'm going to need 4 of those, and that's going to be my sections that wrap around on my tube. So I kind of just started in one area, and then I hit Control C and Control V to create duplicates of that back so I don't have to keep going through. And I just line those up next to each other, and I'll mess with them a little bit more as soon as I get my boxes on here. Okay, so you can see right in this section right here, it's not quite as dark as it is here, and it's because this one isn't quite overlapped the way it should be. So I'm just going to overlap that a little bit better. It still seems to be off a little bit. And I'm just doing that to all of them right here. And this one you could tell is down just too far. But what I do is I just come over here to the right and I look where it's on my screen. So it says it's at the 5-inch mark. And this one is at 501. So I'm going to change this to 5. And that'll line it up better. Okay. So I'm just checking to make sure all of them are listed or marked on the 5-inch. Okay, it looks like they're all good now. Okay. Whoops, sorry about that. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do now is, you see there's a little bit of a gap here. Well, when I was originally making my my layout, I found that it didn't quite wrap the right way, so I had slid over one of my squares here, rectangles, and I made this a little bit larger. So I'm actually going to make it about 1.15 inches wide. And then I'm going to do that with the second one here. So I'm going to bring it over and then stretch this one so it's about, this one actually, let's see, we're going to change this a little bit. Okay, there we go. So now I've got them all lined the way I want. And for some reason, when you wrap these around, at least when I experimented with this and wrapped it around, one or two of the sides might be a little bigger than the 1 inch, because I did measure the size of the tubes and they were about 1 inches on each side, but that varies. So basically what I did now was I made a box that has several different sections in it. And each section, this section right here will be where the ribbon goes through. These lines right here will be the sections that wrap around the tube. And this little end right here is kind of just a little flap that will be hidden underneath when we go to wrap it around the tube. So the next thing I'm going to do is go ahead and do my butterflies. And what I do is I have to go over here to my text box, and I downloaded a dingbat font, and it's called KR Spring Me, and that's it right here. And what I did was I just selected the image I want to use. I'm just going to use this butterfly right here. Let me select my move tool. I just selected this butterfly right here, and then I just adjusted it a little bit. I kind of turned it so it wasn't oops, it's going crazy on me. Let's try that again. There we go. Okay, and then I know I can make this, actually the size of this one is pretty good. So, but I have to be careful because I have to remember one of my boxes are a little bit wider. So I'm actually going to go ahead and change the size of this to, let's make it 0.85 width and 0.95 for the height. And that fits in there perfectly. So what I'm going to do is just move this. Well, actually, I'm just going to copy paste these. So I'm just doing Control C, Control V for copy paste. And I'll create several of these that'll go in each box. So that's basically what I did to create my little wrapper that went around the tubes that I showed you earlier. So let's go ahead, and I'm going to go ahead and emboss this onto some metal. And what I'm doing, I'm using some metal that I got from the Cri-Kits website, and I'm putting it so my colored paper, or my colored side, is facing down on my mat, and my silver side is facing up because I want my images to pop out rather than be embossed in. So let me go ahead and do that, and we'll come back. I'll come back and I'll show you how I put this together. Okay, I went ahead and embossed my metal, and what I did was when I was putting this on my mat, I put it upside down so it was embossing on the silver side and not the red side, because I wanted it to be raised instead of indented. So I went ahead and added some sticky strip on both ends, and what I'm going to do is just take my tube here and wrap that around, starting in one of the middle sections. And by creating those boxes, when I was designing this, I went ahead, it helps with wrapping your metal around your project. So I'm just wrapping this around, okay, just like that. Okay, and now what I'm going to do is go ahead and add some ribbon to this, and I'm just going to first start by measuring this to make sure I have a nice piece that's long enough. And I'll just take my scissors and trim it. And then I'm going to add a piece of sticky strip to the back of that. Okay, and now what I'm going to do is just starting where I have my crease from the metals meeting, I'm just going to wrap this around. Just like that. Okay, so now I have all 3 of my little packages together here. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put them together like that, and then I'm going to take some raffia and I'm going to use that and tie it around. So let me just get off a nice big piece here. Okay. So I'm just going to take these and wrap the raffia around a couple of times. And then I'll knot this just like that. Push that up a little bit. There we go. And then I made a little raffia bow, and I'll just stick that right in the center, and this will make a nice little gift for somebody that's just starting out scrapbooking or you know, crafting. So it has some glitter and some buttons and some dewdrops. So, but you can even, you know, put some candy in here or do something different like that. So, okay, there we go. That was our project. Thanks for watching. Bye.